What's up, YouTube? I was just going to do a little bit of a walk around and talk around today. I was going to go live and do this, but then I changed my mind because I just didn't feel like it. This is the seed I'm planting this year. I've switched back and forth between the Hubners, which is these, and the Pioneers. Now, these are the 2.8s. This is about as long of a maturing soybean as they would recommend for my area in northwest Pennsylvania. I planted 2.6s about 3 years ago, the Hubners, and had almost 50 bushels to the acre. So, you know, I'm pretty confident in these. I've had guys that are all Pioneer or all Dobler or whatever, and they swear by the seed that they've planted for, well, I call it pop syndrome. You know, their grandfather did it and their great-grandfather did it and whatever. Whenever the seed come out is when they started planting it. They just refused to change. But I'm here to tell you it's not a Walmart brand of seed. I've had a lot of luck off these. Again, it was the 2.6s. Last year I planted the 2.7s, and these are the 2.8s, so I'm going to go a little longer maturing bean this year. When I get in the field to throw it down, who knows? We're pretty soupy right now. We've had rain for the past, I'm going to say, 2, 3, 4 days, and if we didn't before then, we might have had a dry day. I mean, other than that period of dryness that we had, it's been awful here. So I'm going to walk over now and do a chicken update, show you how my sand plan is working out. So stay tuned. All right, you can see a lot of the wood that I skid. Hey, look, little brooders out getting washed in the rain. Sun's shining now, but I'm under no delusion that it's going to stay out. We're supposed to get patches of sun like this and then rain. I did start to cut some of this up. I'll walk over and show you. It's been a real pain in the ass because I've got a Husqvarna 435 and a Husqvarna 240. The 435 is 2.5 cubic inches. It's just the power head's just not enough, and you know, with a small power head like that, you get a small chain with it. So it's just, you got to work hard, man. It's just miserable. So I'm going to get a bigger saw. The only thing, you know, that I'm looking at as far as saws, do I buy a bigger Husky or do I go out and get a real saw and a still? You know, pay an extra $100 or $200 for a still, and then you got a saw. But some of these, I mean, they're not even really big, but I had to work to get them cut, you know, and it's just like, holy crap. So, but this is my pasture, one side of the pasture, and boy, are the apple trees coming in this year. We did not get a frost like we do in a typical year. Normally we get a really, really warm late April, and I'm talking 70s and 80s, and it'll drive these apple trees into blossom. And then all of a sudden, May 6th, May 7th, May 8th will roll around, and we'll get hammered with a frost, and it'll kill half of these. But I'm here to tell you, a lot of these trees, they're going to be weighted down. Some of these are crab apples, some of these are edible apples. You know, I know which ones are. Now, this grass in here that's growing in the pasture will be, if it's not over my head, it'll be neck deep. And, you know, I keep it burnt about every 3 to 5 years. I do a prescribed fire on it, burn it. I did not do one this year, just basically because, number one, it wasn't due, but two, we had such a wet, nasty, long winter that went into spring that I just wasn't able to do it. So, but I know I've made the reference in past videos about Lord of the Rings, but man, this is Lord of the Rings here. So I don't know. I'm either gonna keep struggling with my baby saws, my limbers, or I'm gonna go out and buy a real saw, you know, maybe at least a 3.5 or a 4 cubic inch power head, and get some work done quickly instead of getting PO'd about the lack of work that I'm able to do with my baby saws. You know, they were all right, you know, just for, like, say, cutting limbs out of trees, or even actually cutting a tree down, you know. I mean, I can do that, but man, what a hassle, you know. Oops, let me zoom out. So yeah, walking over here now. This is what I call the video field, and the reason I call it the video field is because it's 5 acres, and it's relatively easy to get video footage in the absence of having a drone, or be a cameraman, and of which right now I have neither. So you know, I will not be taking videos in every field that I plant this year. I just won't. It gets repetitive, and there's sometimes, you know how it is if you're planting, you just got to get down and dirty and get stuff done, you know. But so this will be a video field. This will never be a field where I can use a drone. There's power lines here and stuff that, you know, even if I used what they call the follow me mode with the drone, there's just no way I could do it. It's too small, too many power lines and trees surrounding it. The other field, I guess I could call that the video field too. That's about 10 acres. I'll probably do some action shots there with you know, just planting and different things, spraying maybe, I don't know, farming. But so anyways, here I am. This is the coop again. I have made a contraption that allows me to sift through the sands of the hourglass. Not really sift through the sands of the chicken coop. It's how I do chicken do. 1/0 first and 2/0 second. And so what I did, I zip tied 1/4 inch mesh to this, and it seems to be okay. The one thing that I will tell you that surprised me a little bit about this is that, hey man, sand's heavy, but let me get in here and kick these guys out. Oh, they already kicked themselves out. Cool. So here's the sand. It's pretty odor free in here. Hey birdies. Oh, you're a brave one. Yep, pretty odor free. What I've learned to do is take the rake with the mesh and flip it over and put all this sand in a pile. Just put it all in a pile, and then take the rake slash. Oh, quit running. And then take the rake slash whatever you want to call it, and then just scoop like this, and then lift it and keep sifting, and then each. Probably the hardest thing about this is it is a typical handle, and it's really long, and I'm in an 8x8 coop, and every time I have to shovel, you know, I can either face the door that I'm actually standing in, more or less, and throw it out, or I have to turn and throw it, and it's kind of time consuming. I mean, it takes me about, to really sift through this good, it takes me a good half hour. But the sand is heavy till it sifts down. It's probably 30-40 pounds a scoop, so it's not for the light at arms. It may be for the light at heart, but if you got nice little thin arms and not very strong, it's probably not your method or MO. So, but that's what I'm doing here, and it's working so far. Not every time I come in here and clean this out do I throw diatomaceous earth back in. I would say about every second to third cleaning I do, though. I have let the chickens out a couple of times. I will tell you, we have a severe hawk problem here. I didn't realize how bad it was until I did let them out, and they come out and they ate some broadleaves. They really like the dandelion broadleaves. Not so much this size here, but when they were a little bit smaller, they were eating them. But yeah, and see, I mean, here we go. Let me see if I can zoom in on this hawk. I don't know if, yeah, see right there. I mean, in the chick, and they're not even out, you know. But anyways, so I let them out the other night. I was like, the heck with it, I'll let them out, and I did. I let them out, and within 3 minutes, there was already a hawk about 40 feet overhead. Now, I was sitting in the truck when I was out, so that hawk didn't know I was in the world. But boy, when I got out of the truck, he sure did, or she sure did, or whatever it did. But you can see here, they're growing, and they're growing fast. You know, I suspect by the 4th of July, they'll be, oh, I don't know, 3/4 chicken size. And really impressed with them. I mean, they're a good hardy bird. But so, yeah, the hawk. And then the other night I let them out. It was about a half hour before what I considered roosting time, or what I thought they would consider roosting time. And I think I'm getting a blur because of the mesh. Here, I'll try. And I let them out, and one got out, and she walked around the coop. She didn't know how to get back in. And, you know, she was making kind of like calling noises to mommy, so to speak. But I did not help her get back in. You know, it's all about self-reliance at this point in time. But as far as me letting them free range at this point, I'm going to have to be here. There's no doubt about it. With our birds of prey that live on this farm, it's astronomical. And I guess the thing that ticks me off the most is, you know, I'll plant this field, I'll plant the other field, I'll plant several fields with soybeans this year. And, you know, not one of them birds will come down and scoop up a woodchuck, a bean-eating machine. Oh, they'll come down and get a rabbit, you know, or they'll come down and get one of your pet chickens. But, boy, they're not going to come down and get anything you want them to get. And I guess, I don't know, just irritating. But either way, that's that. A lot of people coop their birds, and they do fine, whatever. But I do want them to get out and get, you know, green stuff and bugs and things that make the yolks dark. So, but anyways, that's what's going on here at the farm. That's what I'm planting. That's the sand idea has worked, you know, I would say to a 90% level of what I expected. And the sun's shining, so guess what? About 3 days of this, and it'll be time to hit this one more time. A lot of green out in that field, and that is actually all clover that I had planted previously. I'm sure the deer are hammering it. Mama hen has not come out lately. I haven't seen her, but then again, I've been in and out of the farm, so who knows really what's going on with her. So either way, thanks for viewing. Have a great day.